You are trapped. Not in a room, not in chains, but in a false identity you didn't even choose. Everything you were taught about life was a lie. Carl Jung saw it decades ago. Think about it. Every choice you've made, from your job to your relationships, even your dreams, were they really yours? Or were they chosen for you? By society, by family, by fear? Right now, your life may feel empty, routine, predictable. You move through each day, but something feels off, like you're wearing a mask, playing a role you never auditioned for, because you're not really you. You're just a collection of expectations placed on you by the world. There are two versions of you, the one you show the world and the one you've buried deep inside. So let me ask you, when was the last time you made a decision purely for yourself? Think back to your childhood, to the dreams that once lit up your soul. Where did they go? The truth? You haven't even started living yet. But the moment you break free, the moment you find yourself, that's when life truly begins. Before you find yourself, life feels hollow. But once you wake up, everything changes. Colors seem brighter. Decisions feel exciting. You finally feel alive. Imagine walking through life wearing a mask. Not a physical one, but a psychological mask, crafted by expectations, shaped by the people around you, and reinforced by the fear of rejection. This mask is what Carl Jung called the persona, the version of yourself that you present to the world. It's polite, socially acceptable, and designed to fit in. But here's the problem. The more you wear it, the more you forget who you really are. From the moment you were born, society started molding you. As a child, you were free, laughing, exploring, feeling everything deeply. But over time, you learned which emotions were acceptable and which were uncomfortable for others. You were praised when you were obedient and quiet, but shamed when you expressed anger or questioned authority. Slowly, piece by piece, your true self was buried under layers of conditioning. Think about it. How often do you make choices based on what you truly want versus what you think you should do? The job you took, was it your passion or was it the smart choice? The relationships you maintain, do they bring you joy or do they just keep you from being alone? Even your personality, are you really you or are you the version of yourself that others expect? This is the trap of the persona. It's not entirely fake. It's a necessary part of social life. But when it completely overshadows your real self, you start feeling lost. You feel disconnected, like something is missing, but you can't quite explain what. That's because your true self, the one you abandoned, hasn't disappeared. It's waiting in the shadows, hidden beneath the surface. You might feel like you've done everything right, yet something inside you feels off. That's because the life you're living wasn't entirely chosen by you. It was chosen for you, by your parents, by society, by the fear of not belonging. But here's the truth. You cannot live a fulfilling life while wearing someone else's mask. The real question is, what happens to the parts of you that don't fit into this persona? Where do they go? They don't disappear. They become the shadow, the hidden side of you that you've ignored for too long. And the more you suppress it, the stronger it becomes. If the persona is the mask you wear for the world, then the shadow is everything you hide underneath it. Carl Jung described the shadow as the unconscious part of ourselves, the desires, fears, and impulses we repress because they don't fit who we think we should be. But here's the problem. Ignoring your shadow doesn't make it disappear. It makes it stronger. Think about the emotions you suppress. Anger, jealousy, ambition, even creativity. Where do they go? They don't vanish. They sink into the depths of your mind, waiting. And the longer they stay buried, the more they control you without you realizing it. Ever had an irrational outburst that felt completely out of character? Or a strong reaction to someone even though you didn't know why? That's your shadow trying to surface. Jung believed that what we reject in ourselves doesn't go away. It comes out in unexpected ways. Maybe you look down on people who are confident, not realizing that deep down, you wish you could express yourself like them. Maybe you resent others for their freedom because you've caged yourself in. Avoiding your shadow has consequences. The more you suppress your true feelings and desires, the more disconnected you feel. Life becomes mechanical. You wonder why you're stuck, why nothing excites you anymore, why you feel empty. Some people project their shadow onto others, blaming, judging, and resenting qualities in people that they secretly have within themselves. Others numb themselves through distractions, addictions, or a never-ending pursuit of success that never truly satisfies. And then, there are those who hit a breaking point, the moment when they realize they can't keep pretending anymore. The only way to break free is to face what you've buried. Jung didn't believe the shadow was something bad. He believed it was a necessary part of who we are. He argued that true self-discovery isn't about eliminating the shadow, but integrating it, accepting it, learning from it. Because when you finally confront the parts of yourself you've ignored, something shifts. The emptiness starts to fade, the mask begins to crack, and you take your first real step toward becoming whole. But how do you actually do that? That's where individuation comes in, the process Jung described as the journey to your true self. If the shadow is everything you've buried, then individuation is the process of reclaiming it. Carl Jung called individuation the journey toward wholeness, the path to becoming the person you were meant to be before the world told you who to become. But this journey isn't easy. It's uncomfortable. It challenges everything you thought you knew about yourself. And yet, it's the only way to finally start living. Most people spend their entire lives trapped in their persona, afraid to look beneath the surface. Society rewards those who fit in, who follow the script, who never question their own reflection. The problem? Living as your persona means constantly performing, choosing safety over authenticity. Ignoring your shadow means living in denial, suppressing emotions instead of understanding them. Avoiding individuation means staying asleep, never realizing that you're capable of something more. Jung believed that true fulfillment comes not from conforming, but from individuation, integrating all aspects of yourself, including the parts you've been avoiding. Individuation isn't about self-improvement. It's about self-discovery. It's not about adding anything to yourself, but removing the layers of conditioning that keep you from seeing who you already are. So, what does this process look like? Recognizing the false self. The first step is realizing that the identity you've been clinging to isn't the real you. Start questioning the labels you've accepted. Are they truly yours, or were they given to you? Facing the shadow. Look at the emotions, desires, and traits you've been suppressing. Instead of judging them, ask, what are they trying to teach me? Reconnecting with the inner child. Remember the things that once excited you before you learned to suppress them. Your childhood dreams weren't random. They were pieces of the real you. Breaking free from external validation. Stop seeking approval from the world. True self-acceptance comes from within, not from how others perceive you. We will discuss more on this later. Stay tuned for that. When you begin individuation, the world doesn't change. You do. And that shift changes everything. You stop living on autopilot. Decisions feel yours again. You stop fearing the unknown. Instead, you embrace it. You stop feeling empty. Instead, you feel whole. Most people never reach this point because they fear losing what they think is their identity. But here's the truth. You're not losing yourself. You're finally finding yourself. Every decision in life has a cost, even the decision to stay the same. The truth is, avoiding the journey of individuation doesn't keep you safe. It keeps you stagnant, it keeps you small, and most importantly, it keeps you from ever truly feeling alive. Most people choose comfort over growth, even when it comes at a price they don't fully realize. So what happens if you ignore the call to find your true self? a life that feels hollow. You wake up every day, go through the motions, but deep down, something feels missing. The problem isn't your job, your relationships, or your surroundings. It's the disconnect between who you are and who you're pretending to be. Unexplained anxiety and restlessness. When you suppress your shadow, it doesn't disappear. It leaks out in ways you don't expect. Stress, dissatisfaction, and a constant feeling that something isn't right. A deep, unnamed regret. Decades pass, and one day, you look back and realize you never really lived for you. You followed the script, did everything right, but it never felt real. Carl Jung believed that avoiding self-discovery doesn't just lead to an unfulfilled life. It leads to suffering. Because when you refuse to integrate the parts of yourself that you've ignored, they control you from the shadows. But what happens when you do choose the path of individuation? Clarity. Like you've never felt before. Instead of feeling lost, you know who you are. You stop making choices based on what others expect and start living according to what truly resonates with you. A life that feels authentic. No more masks, no more pretending, just the raw, unfiltered version of you, the person you were meant to be all along. Excitement instead of emptiness. The world doesn't feel dull anymore. Life becomes an adventure, full of possibility, because you're no longer suppressing what makes you you. Emotional freedom. You no longer feel chained by old wounds, past conditioning, or societal expectations. You're free to think, feel, and exist without restriction. Which path will you choose? At this point, the choice is clear. There are two roads. The first is the safe road, the one where you stay in the illusion, never question the script, and wake up decades later wondering why life never felt real. The second is the harder road, the path of individuation, the journey to discovering your true self. It's uncomfortable, it's uncertain, but it's the only road that leads to a life that feels real. So now that you know the cost of staying asleep and the reward of waking up, how do you actually start? Carl Jung believed that the journey to authenticity isn't something that happens overnight. It's a process, one that requires self-awareness, courage, and a willingness to confront the parts of yourself you've ignored. But once you start, everything changes. Step 1. Recognize the false self you've been living. The first step to finding yourself is realizing who you are not. Question your beliefs. Ask yourself, how many of your opinions, goals, and desires were actually chosen by you? How many were simply given to you by your family, culture, or society? Notice where you feel trapped. Pay attention to the parts of your life that feel forced. Do you have a career you don't love? Friendships that don't fulfill you? A lifestyle that feels more like a script than a choice? Observe your reactions. Your emotional triggers reveal the parts of yourself you've suppressed. Jung called this the shadow, the hidden aspects of your personality that you've buried. When something strongly bothers you, it's often because it reflects a part of yourself you haven't fully accepted. This process of questioning is uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Because before you can find your true self, you have to strip away everything that isn't you. Step 2. Meet your shadow, the hidden side of you. The parts of yourself that you've ignored don't just disappear. They manifest in other ways: self-doubt, anger, insecurity, or a constant feeling of being stuck. The only way to move forward is to confront them. Journaling. Write about the emotions you avoid, the fears you suppress, and the desires you never acknowledge. What patterns do you see? Inner dialogue. Have an honest conversation with yourself. What do you really want? What parts of yourself have you rejected? Art and creativity. Your subconscious often speaks through creative expression. Drawing, writing, or music can help you connect with the deeper parts of yourself. Your shadow isn't your enemy. It's just the part of you that has been silenced for too long. Integrating it is the key to becoming whole. Step 3. Follow what feels alive. Once you begin peeling away the false self, the next step is to listen to what excites you. What did you love as a child? Think back, before society told you what was realistic or practical. What made you feel alive? Pay attention to curiosity. The things that naturally interest you, psychology, art, philosophy, adventure, are clues to your authentic self. Experiment without fear. You don't have to figure everything out at once. Start trying new things, explore, create. Give yourself permission to not have all the answers yet. Your real self has been calling you this entire time. The question is, will you listen? Step 4. Choose growth over comfort. The moment you start changing, something interesting happens. The world pushes back. Friends and family may not understand. People are used to seeing you a certain way. When you change, it can make them uncomfortable. That's okay. Fear will try to stop you. Your mind will come up with 1,000 reasons to stay the same. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I lose what I have? But fear is just resistance in disguise. Discomfort means you're growing. Jung believed that true transformation requires going through uncertainty. If the path feels uncomfortable, it means you're on the right track. The life you want exists outside of your comfort zone. The question is, are you willing to step into the unknown to find it? Step 5. Keep waking up. Every day, finding yourself isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong journey. Make reflection a habit. Check in with yourself often. Are you living in alignment with who you truly are, or slipping back into old patterns? Stay curious. Never stop learning about yourself. Every new challenge is an opportunity for deeper self-discovery. Surround yourself with the right people. Find those who inspire growth, who encourage your journey rather than keep you stuck in the past. Because in the end, life isn't about finding yourself. It's about creating yourself, piece by piece, decision by decision. The choice is yours. Stay asleep in the life that was chosen for you, or wake up and create the life that's truly yours. Carl Jung believed that real living begins the moment you break free from the false self. The question is, will you take that step? If this resonated with you, share your thoughts in the comments. And if you're ready to start your journey, keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep waking up, because your real life is waiting.